Today we are going to start our next topic of the chapter 6 company accounts, and our topic is calls in advance and interest on calls in advance. Yesterday we did calls in arrear. If any shareholder is not able to pay the amount due on the installment of allotment or calls due, then it is known as calls in arrear. But sometimes some of the shareholder pay the amount of calls in advance along with the amount of allotment with application money. Then it is known as interest on calls in advance. Interest on calls in advance whenever the calls are received by the company in advance, interest on calls in advance is due to pay to shareholder. The amount received as calls in advance is a debt for the company and it is liable to pay interest on the sum of receipt till the date when the call is due from the payment. Let it be a shareholder has to pay the amount of call in December and he paid the amount of calls in July along with allotment. It means from July to December, means from the date of payment to the date of due, that will be provided on that advance calls. Generally, the article of the company specify the rate which is the interest payable on calls in advance. However, if it is not contained in the article, then the table F Schedule 1 of Company Act 2013 shall be applicable, which leaves the matter to the Board of Directors. And it is subject to the maximum rate, that is 12% per annum. Means a company can pay with the consent of directors. The rate is 12% per annum as interest on calls in advance. It is to be noted that interest on calls in advance is a charge on the profits. Whether the company is bearing the losses, whether his company is enjoying the profits, it is very much compulsory to pay the interest on calls in advance. So it is known as charge. It will not known as appropriation. No dividend is payable on calls in advance since the amount on calls in advance is not a part of share capital. And from the practical point of view, interest on calls in advance is not in your syllabus. But from theoretical point of view, you may get the question carry 1 mark in the form of any MCQ or true fall in the question. So please read the theory related to this. Now, let's do the accounting treatment of calls in advance. I'm telling you, interest on calls in advance is not in the syllabus practically, but calls in advance is in the syllabus in the practical form. It will be more clear by doing the illustration number 16. Chandra Limited issued 40,000 share of 10 each payable 2.5 on application due on 1st May 2019, rupees 2.50 on allotment payable on 1st July 2019, rupees 2 on first call payable on 1st October 2019, rupees 3 on second call 1st February 2020. All these shares were subscribed and amount received. Mohan, who had 800 shares, paid the amount of first and second call with allotment. See, Mohan, who is holding 800 share, paid the amount of first and final call with allotment. What does it mean? The Mohan is paying the calls in advance along with the allotment. Let's start the question. The question is to be started as it is. Look at the solution part that is plotting on the screen. 40,000 share into 2.50 means 2.50 that is bank account debit to share application account. Now it is to be due at the time of allotment. Allotment take place on 1st July. On 1st July, the entry will become share application account debit to share capital. The whole amount that you receive, it is to be due and transfer to share capital. Then share allotment account on 40,000 share at the rate 2 rupee 50 paisa per share, and the amount will become 1 lakh, that is due on allotment. But along with allotment, the calls are received on 800 share. So what is to be done in that case? While doing the entry of receive of allotment, the entry will become bank account debit to share allotment account, to calls in advance account. Mark in your books as I marked here. In bank account, the total amount will be there, whether in the share allotment, the amount is to be shown that is due, that is rupees 1 lakh. In calls in advance on 800 shares, we are receiving the amount of calls in advance, that is 2 plus 3, that is 5 rupee on calls. So it will be 800 into 5, 4,000 rupees. All in all, the company is receiving 1,04,000 rupees at the time of share allotment. I hope the concept is clear. I'm recalling it, I'm repeating it. The company that has amount due on share allotment on 1st July, that is rupees 1 lakh on 40,000 shares, 2 rupee 50 paisa per share. But company is receiving 1 lakh rupees of allotment and another amount of calls in advance, that is on 800 shares. All in all, it will become 1,04,000. After that, the amount due on first call on 40,000 share at the rate 2 rupees per share, the amount due on first call is 80,000 rupees. Then see, we received the calls in advance at the time of allotment on July 1. Now those calls in advance are to be debited this time when we receive first call. The entry will become bank account debit, calls in advance account debit to share first call. The amount due on share first call is 80,000. While on 800 share, the company is receiving the amount in advance. On 800 share at rupees 2 per share, the first call is received in advance, that is amounted to rupees 1,600. So on 1st October, at the time of receive of first call, the net amount received by the company will be 80,000 minus 1,600, that will be 78,400. I hope I'm clear to everybody. Bank account debit will be 78,400, that you will get 80,000 minus 600, 1,600. Or you may get it, the total number of shares are 40,000 and you may calculate it by deducting 800 shares. You will remaining left with you 39,200 shares, multiply by 2 rupees per share. 39,200 multiplied by 2, you will get the 78,400 rupees. So any of the way you can calculate the amount of received at the for first call, and keep in your mind while doing these kind of calculating these kind of amount, please make sure calculate the amount from 2 or 3 ways. It helpful for you for the cross checking that you have calculated absolute correct amount. The amount due on second call, it will be 40,000 share, 3 rupees per share, that will be 1,20,000. But company actually received some amount of calls in advance. So it will be debited now. The entry will become bank account debit, calls in advance account debit to share first, second and final call. The total amount due on final call is 1,20,000. The company already received in advance on 800 shares into 3 rupees per share, that is 2,400. The net amount received by the company at the time of second call will become 1,17,600 shares. So please keep in your mind, whenever the calls in advance account treatment is to be done, it takes place at 2 places. Once when you receive the calls in advance, once when the actual time of receive of those calls is happen. At the time of happening of the due date of receive, when you receive the amount actually on that date, it is to be debited because you have received it earlier. And when you received it as an advance, at that time the entry is to be done. So calls in advance take place once it is credited, when it is received, once it is debited, when the receipt of actual date is there. In this way, you have to do the question. Next, this is all about your calls in advance. Now, one query I get on WhatsApp from a student, she asked from me sometime in the question the percentage of it along with the share is given to you. In this question, it is not given. I want to make you clear. Sometime it is given, like suppose, let it be for say an example, it is given 7% preference share, 40,000 shares. What does it mean? Whenever you have to write here share application account, whatever share allotment account, you have to write completely 7% preference share application, 7% preference share allotment, 7% share first call, 7% preference share second call. Means whenever in the question the equity share is given to you, I quoted this while doing the illustration number 5. I'm repeating it once again. If nothing is mentioned in the question, you have to mark equity share or write as it is, like share application, share allotment, whatever. But if you find any denomination along with the rate of dividend provided to preference share, like because preference share always have a fixed rate of dividend, 7% preference share means whenever the dividend is provided to the shareholder, it will be 7%. In one of the question, a student is finding the query. I'm explaining that query. Whenever you have any percentage along with the preference share, so when you write the statement like share first call, share second call, share allotment, you have to mark it completely. 7%, 8%, 9%, whatever the amount is given, whatever the rate is given, it is to be shown there. Practically, there is no use. But when you prepare the books of accounts, you have to quote that percentage, that is the rate of dividend provided to the preference share holder. Now, let's do illustration number 19. On 1/1/2016, the first call of ₹3 per share become due on 1 lakh equity share issued by Kamini Limited. Karan, a holder of 500 share, did not pay the first call money. What does it mean? The total number of share with the company that is due to receive 1 lakh share. The amount due to receive 1 lakh multiplied by 3 on first call, that is 3 lakh. Karan, a shareholder of 500 share, did not pay the first call money. It means it is the concept of calls in arrear. Karan has not paid the amount of calls in arrear. Another side, Arjun, a shareholder holding 1,000 shares, paid the second call and final call of ₹5 per share along with the first call. On the other side, Arjun is another shareholder who is holding 1,000 shares and paid the second and final call along with first call. What does it mean? The another shareholder, Arjun, is paying the amount before the due date. It means it will become the concept of calls in advance. Pass the necessary journal entry amounting to rupees. Pass the necessary journal entry for the amount received by opening calls in arrear and calls in advance in the books of company. This question you find in CBSE 2016. And surely it will be of carry 3 mark. So, what difference you find? Yesterday we did calls in arrear. Today we have done calls in advance. In this illustration number 19, you find both of the concept. One is One is calls in arrear, another is calls in advance. Now let's learn that. Somebody is writing on the screen. What is this? Both of the concept, and it is very important from the examination point of view, and see how it is to be done, how it is to be give the accounting treatment. You have to pass the both of the entries all together. See what is written here: pass ancestry entry for the amount received by opening calls in arrear and calls in advance account. What does it mean? Entry for the amount received. It is very much clear that we have to pass the entry related to receipt of the final call. It is clear here. In entry of due, it is not to be passed. Entry of receive. By opening calls in arrear and calls in advance account. What does it mean? It means we have not only deducted or added the amount, moreover, we have highlighted the calls in arrear account and calls in advance account by opening that. So what will be the entry? Bank account debit, calls in arrear account debit, to equity share first call, to calls in advance account. The amount due on first call, that is on 1 lakh share of rupees 3 each. The amount will be 3 lakh. 3 rupees on first call on 1 lakh share, it will become 1 lakh into 3 lakh rupees. 500 share holded by the current have not paid the amount of calls. It will be debited as a loss for the company in calls in arrear account, and the amount is to be calculated 500 into 3, that will be 1500 rupees. There is another shareholder holding 1000 shares. On 1000 share, the calls received in advance. So the second call is received along with the first call. That is amounting to rupees 5. The number of shares who have paid the calls in advance are 1000. So 1000 into 5, 5000 rupees. All in all, we credited 3,05,000 rupees, whereas in calls in arrear account, we debited 1500. Means company has to receive 3 lakh and 5,000 is receiving calls in advance. The total it become 3,05,000. On the another side, the calls in arrear, a kind of loss for the company, is debited at 1500. 3,05,000 minus 1500, the rest of the amount left with us 3,35,000. That is the amount received. Once it is to be calculated by this method, another which is given in the book. On 99,500 share, the company is receiving the first call. So 99,500 into 3 plus on 1,000 share at rupees 5 per share, the company is receiving calls in advance. So total amount received at the time of calls in advance is rupees, along with the first call amount is rupees 3,35,000. Now see in this question, if it is given instead of share capital, some preference shares are there with percentage, then what you have to do? On the place of equity share capital, you have to mention that percentage, means rate of dividend, and preference share first call. Let it be it is 10% preference share capital. Then you have to write 10% preference share first call instead of equity share first call. Rate of dividend only just meant for showing the accounting treatment at the time of preparation of journal. From calculation point of view, that percentage, that rate is not to be used. In some of the books, the calculation related to interest on capital is also given. Moreover, in one practical, you also find the calculation of interest on calls in advance. Please do that. Calculate the interest from the date of receive to due. Count the month. Use the percentage as you calculated in calls in arrear. You have to calculate in that manner. But from evaluation point of view, you don't find anything else related to the practical calculation of calls in advance. So from theoretical point of view, you have to do and clarify the concept more. You have to do practical related to the interest on calls in advance. So this is all about the topic of the day, that what are calls in advance, what is interest on calls in advance, how the interest on calls in advance is to be dealt, as per which schedule it is given, table F, schedule 1, Company Act 2013. The maximum rate of interest on calls in advance can be 12% per annum. Whenever the question is given to you, please keep in your mind, calls in arrear are just shown once when the arrear take place, but calls in advance account once it is shown when you receive the calls in advance, another time when the actual time of receive of that call take place. Please keep in your mind. One thing more, when you do it as calls in advance, like you are doing the entry on July 1, you can write all the calls in advance all together here, as we did 800 into 5. That is 2 rupees on first call and 3 rupees on final call. But in case of at the time of receive of the entry, when you do the entry of receive of first call, 800 multiplied by per share value on first call is to be considered, means 2 rupees per share is to be considered here. The amount will become 800 into 2. On February 1st, the amount is to be shown 800 into 3, because 3 rupees per share on final call is there. In this way, keep these basic points in your mind while attempting the question. Otherwise, you will be taken and your marks will be deducted. Don't forget to mention the narration, and mention the narration so perfectly and in limited words, which provide the each and every information regarding the entry. Like in the last entry, it is given such an appropriate narration is there. Second call money received, it means the entry of receive of second call on 39,200 share, 3 rupees per share. Calls in advance on 800 share adjusted. Such an appropriate narration is given over here, which conveying each and everything perfectly in limited words. You also have to write the narration like this only. And in the next question, illustration number 19, we did the concept of first calls in arrear as well as calls in advance. There is a shareholder Karan holding 500 share, have the calls in arrear concept. On the another side, the shareholder holding 1000 share paid the amount of calls in advance, so it is known as calls in advance. Yes, if anybody have any query, please ask. The lecture for the day is over. You have to do your practicals related to